And is mental health something you've suffered with yourself?
So I haven't personally suffered with it until recently. I lost someone quite recently to it. So it's been quite an emotional roller coaster. It's really recent. It happened in March. But I have friends and family that have it and really suffer with it. And it's only been recently, because I've never really understood mental health. When people have said that they've ever had anxiety or depression, I've never really understood it. But it's only been this year that I've really been able, to see it in all of its form, and then obviously see the really sad side of it, of losing someone. So I think it just came to the point of, when you're really upset over such an important topic, the first thing you think of is, I need to do something. I've physically got to do something about it. So ever since obviously losing someone in March, that was kind of the first thing that I thought of, and I just wanted to kind of get on board and see what I could do to kind of make a difference.
And as a result of losing someone, was it like to do with obviously mourning the person that you've lost? Were you depressed afterwards, or was it like anxiety?
Since then, there's days where last weekend was probably the first weekend that I've just not wanted to leave the house.
Okay.
Didn't want to do anything, didn't want to leave. And I'm not like that. I'm a really positive, bubbly person. Anybody that knows me will always say that I've got a smile on my face all the time. But since experiencing this, I've really been in like a really dark place. Like you're constantly sad. You don't want to be around people. Like my friends wanted me to go out last weekend, and I was like, yeah, I'll be there. And then I just didn't go out. Like I just locked the door and just stayed in. And it's quite sad, and it's quite dangerous in a way, how easy that mindset can really take over if you aren't occupied. Obviously, I went to work the next day on Monday, and then you kind of get back into a routine and you're with people, and that kind of distracts you. But if you don't have that routine, it's quite dangerous to think of where it could actually lead.
Mm. And how have you found going into the campaign that you've got and helping people? Have you found that people are more prone to opening up now, or do you feel like it's still a real tough task to get people to talk about this sort of thing?
I feel like, I actually had this conversation the other day. I feel like now is a good time to do it, especially because I have so much emotion at the minute for it. Going through the journey right now, it's probably the best time to kind of create this thing. So let me just explain a little bit about the campaign. So the campaign's in 2 stages at the minute, what I'm trying to create. So on Sunday, we're going to be doing a bit of a photo shoot. So to bring everyday people around, not just reality people, we're getting people, mums, dads, sons, daughters, all different ages, all together. We're going to be literally all gathering together in Islington. We're going to be, there's going to be a bit of an introduction that I'm going to be saying about mental health, why we're going to be here in the first place. Going to be doing a few bit of activities to kind of get everyone to kind of bond together. There's also going to be a guy there called Cars that's going to be, who's like a mindful poet. He suffered with it, and his way of expressing it is through poetry, and he speaks it.
He's really good. I've seen
incredible.
him live. He was at where we were standing for at Mental Health. Shout out Mindful Poet on Insta,
definitely.
Everything.
Yeah, he's incredible. So he's going to be doing his work and giving some insight on that. And then we've also got some campaign pages there that are very big on social media that talk about awareness and that it's okay to be able to talk about it, really. So the whole point of Sunday is to capture images of positivity, of a group of people together that don't know each other, all different ages, all different kinds of people coming together as one to be able to unite for a really special cause. So there's going to be photographers taking pictures of that. And then the second part of my campaign, I'm going to be selecting quite a few different people. I feel strongly a little bit more towards males, just because I feel like males don't know how to probably open up more than what women do.
Yeah, as we've spoken about quite a lot on this podcast before, for young men, I think it overtook, it is the biggest killer of young men in the country, So what you're doing there is extremely positive, and getting people, if you can get through to people and just get them to talk about it, that is always the first step.
100%.
But also, we think you're very brave for while you are going through your own thing, to be doing this is a really, really admirable thing.
Do you find that, because we had Uncle Ed before, who was obviously very light-hearted, what he's talking about, but he's saying about when he does have setbacks, throws himself into his work. Do you find you're a similar type, like when you have setbacks or when you have things that don't go the way you wanted, you throw yourself into being busy? Do you take more time to reflect? I know you talked about having nights where you felt like you couldn't leave the house.
Yeah, I think it's just so recent for me though, because I've never been like this. I've never experienced. Obviously, people lose parents in different circumstances, and obviously everyone will lose a loved one at their time. The only people that I've ever lost are my nan and granddad, but you expect that when they get older, like that is life, isn't it? But when you lose someone that's the same age as you, like it's really hard to deal with. You physically can't accept it, even to the point where I actually, and this is being honest, like I actually went to counselling yesterday for the first time, because it's just something that I physically can't get my head around. I can't process it. It won't go in, and I'm constantly upset thinking about it, because you're constantly thinking that I wish I could have done more, and then I feel like I've got so much blame in me, and that I feel that if I would have done something, it might not have got to this point. And I know I can't, but I don't know why my head doesn't tell me that, and I can't accept that. So I am taking the steps to try and change that. But whilst I'm doing that, obviously I'm trying to put all my efforts into this mental health campaign to make sure that no one else feels, one, how that other person did who passed away, but also how I feel from the other side, and also his friends and family, because it's not nice. It's horrible to go through, like it's horrific, like, and anybody who's in this situation, and it's hard to think that people feel that low, and it's really hard to kind of understand and accept.
So the person you're talking about, did he took his own life?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And he was battling with his own mental health issues.
Yeah.
To do so.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like we said, for young. Well, was he a young?
Yeah, he was 26 years old. 26
years of age. Yeah. Again, biggest killer of young men, and it's the real pain of it all is that if you can get people to talk about it, it is such a big. Did you know if he was seeking help himself?
So he was on anxiety tablets.
Yeah.
But he got an incredible support system. Like his family are amazing. I've not known him for a massive long period of time, but I have spent time with him quite a bit. So, and I got to obviously speak to him quite a lot. So it was very hard, and it shook the nation as well. Like obviously hearing about someone else that had passed away regarding this stigma. So we can say his name. It's all right to say his name, isn't it? If you don't mind. Yeah. So obviously Mike, who died recently, like it massively shook the nation. So it's really difficult to obviously deal with. So Mike, for the listeners who don't know, was a reality star who was on Love Island about 2 years ago. Yeah.
So not last year, but the year before. And he took his own life. And it's been a big shake for the industry you work in as well.
Yeah.
How have you found? Well, there's two issues. One is the mental health, and two, there's pressures of fame.
Yeah.
And very, very quickly, I'm sure when you went on your reality show, for instance, you went on that show. Did you have phones and stuff? Or?
No.
No. So you went on that reality show, and without being rude, not that many people knew who you were.
Yeah.
And then in a very quick space of time, lots of people know who you are. Yeah, and that kind of ascent like that can be really, really damaging for people's kind of, I don't know, just well-being. It's very, very, very stressful, and there's serious pressures that go with it.
100%. I mean, Love Island's very different to Shipwrecked. So when Shipwrecked gets filmed, when you come out, so we stopped filming, I think it was in October.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And then it was aired in January. So for us, we were in this whirlwind. And then we came back and had to go back to normality until it was aired in January. So in a way, we felt like we couldn't get our head around it. Like, it was hard for us to come back to normality, knowing the experience that we've done. We're not allowed to discuss it. We're not allowed to talk about it. We didn't want to leave the people that we've just been with for the past 3 to 4 weeks. And you didn't want to talk to any, like, I know when I came back, I didn't want to speak to any of my friends and family. Like, it was weird. Like, I was in the weirdest mindset. The only people that I wanted to be around were the people that I've just spent 3 weeks with.
Wow.
Like, I think at the time, like, I hadn't spoke to, like, my sister for, like, I think it was like 2 weeks until I got back. Like, it was the weirdest situation. So, but obviously Love Island is filmed there and then. Yeah. And when it's finished, they come back and are very much open to everything that's happening in this world. So, which is a lot of pressure.
Yeah. But equally though, when your show goes out, very quickly, you put your name into Twitter and you'll see people saying anything and everything about you, whether positive and negative.
Yeah, of course.
Which again is
it's scary.
Yeah, like
it is scary.
It is
really
really
scary.
scary.
The magnifying glass.
You're suddenly under it, and you can just be like, oh, anyone can say anything.
But
they
then
like.
on another side, the hard part is, as much as people, and a lot of people will turn around and say, well, you've signed up to that. That's what you knew was going to happen. But what you don't want to happen and expect to happen is the nastiness that comes along with it, because no one that goes into these shows are nasty people. Like, no. And you know what I mean? And they don't deserve, just because they're now in the spotlight, to get half the stuff. Like, when I used to go back onto Mike's Instagram, the comments that people would say were absolutely disgusting. Like, it makes me physically angry seeing it. And I just think, how do people put up with that negativity on a day-to-day basis? Like, it's shocking, it's awful, absolutely awful, and it's nasty. So I can understand how people feel really taken back and alone in these situations, because you've got all these keyboard warriors, and you know what, sometimes they're just fake profiles. Like,
well, so we've had this a lot with like comics who you know have got on TV and stuff, or even comics who might have material that some people disagree with.
Yeah.
You know, and it's what we've said before. It's sometimes you click on these people's profiles and they'll be on the family, you know, on the beach with their family, and yet they've written the most vile hatred.
I don't know why that
venom.
is.
I don't know where it comes from.
I don't know why that is.
It's the anonymity. Am I saying? Yeah. It's the ability to be anonymous, which for some people, but some people don't. They're not even anonymous. They just say it because they can.
And I think that's the sad thing, isn't it? People should support each other. I think that's just the hardest part. There's people, like I say, people talk about mental health, that they want to help each other and they really want to push, but where is that support when you're being nasty to somebody else? So
yeah, people can say about positivity and being a nice person, but then, as you say, that keyboard warrior effect of on their phone,
it's not nice.
On
like
their laptop, they feel like they've got this sort of power to be able to let out all these nasty comments.
It's not nice.
It's
and
really
I'm not
weird.
saying that is the be all and end all of why people suffer with mental health. I mean, image is a huge thing right now. Like, I mean, I'm probably not a great person to ask because I've had lip fillers. Like, I've obviously had my boobs done, so I've had surgery, but I've never had surgery to be a certain way. I've had it they were insecurities that I've had from a young age. Like, when I told my mum and dad that I was having my boobs done, my dad knew it was like, yeah, that's fine, because you've been wearing push-up bras for your whole bloody life. Like, I understand why you'd want to have it done. So it's never a shock or surprise. And then my lips has obviously just been something that I've really been insecure about for a long time. So, but there is a huge stigma on looking a certain way right now, like, and it's sad.
The rise of social media and you know, reality TV, these things all combined into that. There's more pressure on young people to look a certain way than there ever has been before, because we've spoken about this a lot on this podcast with people. When we were growing up as teenagers, before Instagram, we grew up with Facebook, but like, we're all similar age. There was no quantifiable number on popularity.
No.
I mean, you know, MySpace friends possibly, but like, you know, not like
give me my love on Bieber.
Yeah, I've got 10,000 friends on MySpace, guys. But like, you know, there wasn't that numerical figure that could be placed upon social media, and Instagram now are trialing in Canada hiding people's followers.
Right.
So they've been doing a trial and they're thinking about bringing it everywhere just to stop, because there has been a big spike in suicide and mental health amongst young people because of it, and there's no denying.
Yeah.
You know, and that pressure coupled with people saying hideous things to you when they don't like the way you look, that is just so much scrutiny
Nasty,
to be under.
yeah.
And you know, you can see why people are pushed to the edge.
Yeah.
And, you know, we've also gone past about like quite an old person's kind of take. I've had old people just be like, well, just turn the computer off. You know, it's just like, we're past that now. It's people's businesses and lives to be online.
Yeah.
So you can't just turn it off or just like, well, just go to the park with your friends. You'll be fine. Like, that's not something we can do.
I just don't think there's enough support though either. Like, I remember when I felt really down, like there was a point where it got me so down, like I was getting upset all the time. I went to the doctors to obviously say, look, I need help. I don't know how to deal with this. And they instantly were like, we can give you some time off work and we can give you depression like pills if you'd like that. And I'm thinking, I need to know how to deal with it. I need you to physically talk to me and tell me how I feel that way and why, and is that okay? I don't need you to take me off work, which is a distraction to keep me going on in everyday life, and also to put me on tablets that I don't need. And that a lot of people can get addicted to, depending on obviously the amount that you have.
Yep.
And I just think sometimes they probably give people a bit of an excuse to give something, you know what I mean? Like give these kind of medication, give people time off work, when that's not the right answer all the time. That's not the solution to the problem. Like sometimes you need to dig down a little deeper.
It's like an emotional plaster, isn't it?
Yeah,
it doesn't actually solve the symptoms behind it.
But it's sad because you can't really change that. Like that's...
Yeah, and also, you know, the NHS is massively underfunded, and so they're, you know, told to have these structures in place which are like, get a quick fix, get something out there, because we can't unfortunately deal with everyone on a case-by-case basis. But it's sad that there aren't these sufficient support networks available, and there just seems to be a lack of sort of understanding from a lot of people. And as you say, I've had it before as well, the double life people live, online, offline, and in conversations being like, oh, like, you know, we should just all talk about mental health now, it's fine, there's no stigma around it. But then you can have serious problems, or you could be, because it's a burden when you have mental health problems. That's why people keep it to themselves.
Of course they do.
Because they realise they're going to push friends away. And it's these friends, I'm putting air quotes in there, who will happily be like, oh, they've gotten really difficult recently. Like, oh, they don't turn up anymore, they're really flaky and stuff like that. And, you know, it's about digging deeper behind that. It's about when you ask, oh, how's it going, to actually listen to.
Social media is very difficult, and you just see what they want you to see. Like, I have a full 9-to-5 job, but I also do reality and glamour on the side. So people will show you what they want. I will show pictures what I want, but then it's only been the past year that I've started doing videos and stuff and doing live videos so people can actually see me. You're not just seeing a picture of what I want you to see. I want people to be able to connect with me and to kind of know, if you're going to follow my page, I want people to see the type of person that I am, and more to the point, be able to relate to me, not just my image. Do you know what I mean?
That's very brave of you, because people, you know, let's not pretend here. You'll receive less likes if you show people you in your pants eating Domino's on a Sunday morning.
Oh my God.
That's not what people want to see.
And that's annoying, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, I will put a picture on in my underwear and get loads of different likes. I will put a picture on of me being happy and positive and get a few hundred likes. Like, it's just... sorry, like,
but like Instagram it's so, there's no denying, like Instagram is just like, it's so animalistic of what like human beings are. It's just like attractive girl and not a lot of clothing. I like it. Like just like it's so.
Or if you've got a really happy smiley person, then no, just flick through.
I don't care.
Carry on.
Yeah.
Thank you, next bitch.
It's so